sér krummi efter stjäl. Etnig binde gokken vel, flöj ur fjalla gjóðu, flöj ur fjalla gjóðu. Vítir yfir byggt og búr, að bæjum fyrr en vatnið hjúr, vævar vængjum skjóðu, vævar vængjum skjóðu.
Say it.
All right.
All right. Okay, you've finished the orm. The orm.
The orm.
The orm.
Yes.
The orm.
The orm.
The orm of the tiger. No, you finished the orm. You finished the arm. You finished the arm. We call it an arm. Offline. Off cam, not offline. Okay.
This is the real world.
This is the real world. I think we're not going to even edit this because this is how I work in the morning.
This is how Michael rolls.
That's how I roll. I just rolled out of bed basically. Okay, so as you said, we finished the arm of Cam.
Yes.
And it looks very pretty.
Yeah, when you entered the room while I was painting that off cam and asked because that is a lot darker than this part.
Yeah.
And yes, those should be like actually two different materials. So this one is a lighter, more soft one, and this one is more color-wise, like the leather here.
Mm-hmm. Now we had a lot of contemplation and consideration and discussion on that arm protector that she has there.
Yeah. We looked up references for that in the internet, and it's a little bit hard to find actually how those were made. We finally agreed on painting them like leather. I first went for a very dark black leather with edges of light brown material shining through, but that was really kind of destructive just next to her face with those things here being all black. So I decided to just paint them in a rather light brown material, same as that part here.
Yeah.
Here you can see some metal buttons or like nails.
Yeah.
We will pick those out with metal paint once we do all the small metal elements.
Yeah. The reference, even some historical references we found, actually had a very, very dark and very, very glossy black leathery material. It almost looked like tar a little bit from the material, and then kind of like a bronze / golden applications, and that would just be way too distractive.
Yeah. So we will go for some just very tiny amount of like bronze nails on there.
Mm-hmm. So that's our artistic freedom here.
Yeah.
All right, and that's an unpainted arm.
Yeah, I think it's always quite nice to actually see the just the prime part together with the miniature, because that really shows you the great amount actually of contrast that we have on the miniature, and also the work that we put in the miniature is a lot more visible just when you have that in comparison. So yeah, some nice black and white, and you can see really how wonderful that here worked with getting a nice strong highlight with the foundation.
Mm-hmm.
And that is just so good that we will use that a bit in the same method as we did the other leather parts. So with glazes,
Mm-hmm.
I will mix some of the strong tone wash with some of the Andrea Brown ink to get a nice rich, a little bit more red brown.
Yeah. And we said that this, of course, is a little bit repetitive now, as we've done this before on the chest pieces, on the lower part and so on. But there's a little difference here, as Ben will go very, very dark. As you can also see, you got this reddish brown from the Andrea red brown in there. There's going to be some pushing of highlights later on, which we haven't done on the other parts.
Actually, it's not pushing of highlights. It's pushing of shadows. Because we will use some of that green that we've used the breast part to increase the shadows and also to get a stronger and more matte finish.
Mm-hmm.
But the highlights will be just the ones here from the white. So we're actually not painting highlights on that part at all. It's just really actually it's good that you think I painted highlights on there.
Yeah.
Because it was just that kind of lazy technique of the glazes.
So you can see that even if you paint something off camera, there are secrets in there. And now we will reveal.
Okay, make sure it's not pooling too much in here. Let that dry.
And what's interesting to see, if you kind of turn it around one more time, you can actually see how big the impact of the black and white foundation is on this one.
Yeah, I think it's really nice to see here. But yeah, I think it's also really nice to see on that area here. See, we have really, it already looks really nicely highlighted.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll just increase the color a bit more. So after the second layer, it looks like that. Now we will start to build up the contrast a little bit more controlled and just redraw the shadows a bit stronger. And always, once we place the color, we will feather out the sides.
Okay, so you're going fold by fold and placing the color, cleaning the brush, and then feather it out.
Yeah, placing it like that. Cleaning the brush.
I can see people actually buying a lot of busts and miniatures with a lot of leather very soon because they'll see, well, I can do that, and yes, you're right, you can do that. It's not that hard, especially with those strong tones and the inks we're using here.
Yeah, and it's really amazing because it's actually a huge piece of the bust is leather.
Yeah,
and just with that technique, it's really easy to get a good look on that.
I don't have the timing down completely, but I'd say that as far as the surface is concerned, the face probably took about as long as like all of the leather. Maybe not quite, but I mean, surface-wise, this of course is much faster. And it looks great. You can also see how Ben feathers it out, but then even extends the area to a little larger area, just to make sure that there's no nasty spots and stuff. But honestly, on the leather, even if you had like a little spot somewhere, doesn't matter. Could just be an imperfection in the leather.
Yeah, leather is also nice to also add later on a little bit of additional weathering.
Mm-hmm.
You can decide that on how happy you are actually with the leather.
Again, I mean, it's not hard. There's a couple of basic rules that always apply if you're putting down shadows. Try to move the pigments into the shadow area and these kind of things. We've talked about this 1,000 times in the previous videos. But I mean, if you use these really simple rules, it's actually very hard to mess this up.
Yeah.
So how many different goes will you have? I know that on the other arm you had like 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, I have to check back because I think the color is already quite strong.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So, but you can see we are, even if you compare that with the highlights up here,
Yeah.
is
Almost there.
almost there. I think another go over the whole surface, but with a little bit more dilution in there,
Mm-hmm.
should be okay before we start adding the green in the shadow.
Mm-hmm. This doesn't look very diluted, although
No.
maybe it's just...
No, it's quite pure. But now I'm just taking the wet brush, pulling it over the surface. I just added it to the core shadow.
Mm-hmm. Which is almost black as it is right now. You're basically just adding some gloss in that area.
Yeah, the nice thing is with the combination of the strong tone, because that dries rather flat,
Mm-hmm.
and the ink, you can really control the gloss to a really nice level. And that is so important to get a realistic leather look,
Yeah.
especially in that scale.
Yeah. And that's why I'm always saying there's no perfect paint for everything. For example, you probably would not want to paint leather with the new scale 75 colors, which are great for something else, but these are very, very flat. And while you might get the same lighting situation, you will definitely not get the same gloss on it.
Yeah. All right, we let that dry, because now all that gloss is quite irritating.
Yeah, it's nice. And of course, the arm there catches light.
Yeah.
On the
I will
surface.
place it, I think, in the on the figure to just check back if it works. Yeah, really nice. I think once we add the blue shadows, that will really work.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, that didn't take too long, right? With a couple of, literally washes.
Yeah.
Washes.
Right, so you see we have some of that cabalette green on the palette, and now some black. We actually just proceed like we did before, so placing it in the shadows. Clean the brush. And pull it over.
So the green actually will desaturate and mute all of the red parts of the red brown ink. It was red.
Brown ink.
Brown ink, yeah. And with that, of course, it's desaturated. It turns a little blacker actually in this instance, especially in the very dark area. And that, of course, pushes the contrast quite a bit and enhances the shadows.
Yeah, also because this glaze is drying rather flat. You will have some contrast there in the shadows, and the shadows will not reflect so much light.
Mm-hmm.
Also, another advantage of that is it will also, even if it's just a very slight tint of the green, it will still bring some of that green from. Also, you will see some of the green here on the. So that will also bring the color, the different elements closer together.
Yeah. So basically, it's a color that repeats in the eyes and the inner cloth or whatever she's wearing there.
Yeah.
So basically, you're creating 3 different contrasts with just one go. Awesome. Saturation contrast, brightness contrast, gloss contrast. Color contrast, wow, 4.
Some of that green, but in a more diluted version, just here over that area, where the sleeve would catch some of the reflection also from the background, from the ground.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, it also has with the extra application of the brown ink.
Yeah,
It has the same redness as well as the top part.
All right. Really nice. I'm really happy because you see with just a few easy steps, you have a nice leather-looking part in a huge scale.
In competition level, when comments style quality even.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
I think maybe if it's in the end, if it's on the figure, we will decide if we do some weathering on that. But for now, that is just fine. You have to here just pay attention to the scalp. So you have the brown part of the shirt here as well, a small part of the brown part of the green part, and this will be the lighter leather part.
Ah, okay.
So don't forget that. I think I will just do this small part here off cam because it's repetition from that. I think I'll also add just 2 or 3 layers of the soft tone wash on that part here. But there's really nothing special. It was just washes of the soft tone, and I will show you the highlighting part on cam again.
Okay. Now, will you do this the same style as the other one, or are you actually going to go for the black on this one? This is not as distractive.
I have to decide. I think I like to keep them more or less the same.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would like to kind of show the black part, but it really doesn't. I mean,
yeah,
because the other arm really we don't want to do it, and we're going to have some sort of symmetry, if you want, of colors there as well.
Yeah. Also, it's just the very same protection.
Yeah.
So painting them in 2 different colors would be a bit awkward, I guess.
Yeah.
So we will do that in the same bright leather tone, but as I show you already on the breast part, it's quite easy, and we will just be back for the highlight part.
Okay.
Flöj ur fjallagjóðu, flöj ur fjallagjóðu.